How do you prefer to communicate with people? JP Morgan Bank has decided that no one uses voicemail anyway, so why should they continue to pay for it? Cutting voicemail will save the company an estimated $3.2 million a year. Now, when one calls an employee at that company, they get a message asking you to call back. You can't leave a message, you're just told to call back. It struck me as fascinating how quickly communication has changed over the past 10 years to the point where there are so many better ways of communicating than leaving a recording of your voice, which always struck me as weird. It's like I'm leaving a recording of my voice, play it back later, hear me in the past. Anyway, what about you guys? How do you stay in touch with people? Do you still even call anyone on the phone anymore? And would you miss voicemail if it went away? Dan, why don't you kick us off?
You know, this is a question I've been pondering for about the last couple of years, you know, with all the text messages and emails and voicemails and everything. And I got to say, I just really don't want anyone to contact me.
Exactly.
Seriously, it's like I get these text messages from like a local barbecue place, and I'll get an email, and it's like I just don't want to. If you really want to contact me, camp out on my front porch and wait till I come out.
So you want the personal touch. You want someone to come and ring your doorbell.
Yeah, I don't want to hear from anybody online at all, ever.
Lewis, what do you think? How do you like communicating?
I'm all
or not at all.
I'm all for getting rid of voicemail. I actually find it annoying. The reason I find it annoying is I feel like it sort of wastes my time, because if someone calls me on voicemail, you know, I check it, they leave me like a 10-second message, and then, you know, the end of it, of course, they leave a number. I can't hear the number. It starts garbling a little bit. I don't get to write that. I mean, like, there's easier and better ways to communicate. Send me a text. That's perfect. Send me a quick text. You know what? Even send me an email if you want. Nowadays, I have my smartphone on me like 24/7. I'll check it, or direct message me on Twitter. You know, anything but voicemail. So I'm kind of glad to see that, you know, going away.
Don't you hate the voicemail that says, "Hey man, I've got a really quick question for you. Call me back."
Yes, exactly.
It's like, leave me an answer. I'll text you or something. It's like,
right. And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, the only thing that voicemail does is, oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying, and that's what I'm saying. It's like a waste of time, because like you dial into your voicemail. I mean, granted, it's automated, but then all of that work just to listen to a 5-second message saying like, "Hey, I'm running late. I'm on my way. Call me back." You know?
Yep. Yeah, the only thing that voicemail does is it puts the work onto the person receiving the voicemail. Right. They might as well say, "Hey, I couldn't be bothered to type this into an email, so I want you to listen to my voice and transcribe what I'm saying into a Word document that I could have easily just sent you in the time it takes me to leave this. Call me back." Bye.
Exactly. That's why I figure if it's that important, they can camp out in front of my house till I walk out the door.
Yeah, I mean, I currently have a voicemail blinking on my phone, and I just know that it's from some like guy who wants me to sign up to a webinar to talk about marketing opportunities or something, because I've gotten on those lists now, and I'm just not looking at it. Like, send me an email, man. You know, well, I will say one thing. There's one reason why I think voicemail should stay around, is because birthday voicemail greetings are the best.
Actually, that's true. That is
right? You know, because everyone knows I don't answer my phone, so they leave me a nice birthday message, and they're always fun and funny and nice to hear, and you keep those on your phone for when you're feeling blue and you're like, oh, people like me.
Although, I have to say, before getting rid of voicemail, why don't we get rid of the fax? Come on, JP. Why didn't you start there? Start with the fax machine, then move on to voicemail.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
It always does strike me as strange when you're like, send me a fax, not realizing how much that puts someone out. More so than voicemail, even. It's like, to fax something, I now have to go to another location, someplace that does faxes, like it's 1980 before we could afford faxes. It's this weird bell curve of like, no one has faxes in their home, everyone has faxes in their home, no one has faxes in their home again. So I'm living at the same rate that people were 20 years ago. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Yes. Agreed.
I will say that it is also funny in this day and age that I personally kind of catalog all my friends mentally of how they like to be communicated with. Like, I know I have a friend that you have to text him. He won't respond unless you text him. Like, you send him an email, he doesn't check email. I have other friends that you have to email, and like other friends that you actually kind of do have to call to get in touch with them. And everyone has their own special way that they like to communicate. How do you guys like to communicate outward then? If you don't like calls, well, Dan, you don't like anything coming in.
Yeah,
How do
I
you-
don't want to see or talk to anybody.
Email, text works for me. Like if I want to
Yeah.
contact someone real quick, like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? Send a quick text, send a quick
Yeah.
email. You know.
Actually, you know what? All right, I take that all back. There is one method of communication that I do use, and that's honestly Facebook messaging.
Really?
That's one of my main sources of communication.
I'm going to catalog you as contact via Facebook
Yes.
Messenger.
Or
I
camp
will
out
say
on my porch.
I like writing emails because I tend to be long-winded, and also I like receiving emails because I feel like if it's important, I can mark an email as unread, whereas I like the speed of a text, I like the back and forth of a text, but if you put something in a text to me that's like, hey, I'm going to need that document, like send me that photo mock-up,
Right.
like by the time I get home, I'm not going to remember that text was there.
Right.
So I can mark an email as unread, so that's what I prefer.
And don't you hate it when people send a text that's so long that it gets broken up into like 3 or 4 different texts?
Yes, and then you're on
Oh.
a bad network, so the pieces come in all out of order.
Oh
and
my gosh.
then it's a fun puzzle.
Yes, it's a word
Well,
puzzle.
That's our 2 cents. What's yours? Do you love voicemail? Do you hate it? Tell us your preferred communication methods in the comments below. For realnews.com, along with Dan Ledbetter and Louis Ramirez, I'm Jeff Summergy. Goodbye.